Well, the general election is coming up, folks. November 5th is barreling at us like a freight train. And if you're pro-gun, if you're pro-Second Amendment, if you're pro-family, pro-life, pro-closed borders, you're sick and tired of having your vote being watered down by criminal illegals. If you are pro-conservative America and want to keep this country intact, you are going to want to watch this video. In this short video, first of all, I'm Chris Dorr. I'm the director for Pennsylvania Firearms Association. And in this short video, I'm going to go over the two candidates running to be your next state senator there in Senate District 15, which is right up there in Dauphin County. This is John DeSanto's old district. It's been redrawn, and so he is retiring from the Pennsylvania Senate. And I'm going to go over these two candidates for you. First of all, we're going to look at Patty Kim. She's a Democrat state representative. She's trying to get bumped up into the state Senate. And she's running against Republican Nick DeFrancesco, who is trying to take John DeSanto's old seat. So this district has been redrawn. It's a little bit tougher for Republicans to win. But here's why the Democrats are going all in on this. They are working hard. And this is why this district is so important in this election cycle. The Democrats are trying to flip the majorities in the Pennsylvania Senate. They currently control the Pennsylvania House. They want to protect that and then flip the Pennsylvania Senate. They, of course, already control the governor's mansion with Josh Shapiro. They want the Democrat agenda for Pennsylvania to be the only consideration going forward. And if you're a gun owner, that's probably raising some red flags for you, considering what they are vocally supporting these days with gun control. So I'm going to jump into it right now, try to keep this video short and brief for you, and talk about Patty Kim, since she's kind of the default incumbent here, in the sense that we at least have vote history with her that we can objectively point to. So first of all, I'm going to bust out my red pencil color here, whatever you call these tablet drawers, and just highlight the fact that she is endorsed by Ceasefire PA. So that gives her a big red X on her mark. Ceasefire PA, they specialize in bringing people into the Capitol building in Harrisburg, oftentimes to testify to take away your guns and my guns. And a lot of these testifiers, the people they're testifying in memory of are oftentimes have been been involved in gang violence. So that's I don't quite understand how disarming you and me is going to ever stop the thugs on the street from committing their acts of violence. Criminals don't obey laws. The people at Ceasefire PA know that. That's why they endorsed Patty Kim. Patty Kim is also endorsed by Michael Bloomberg and his gun control organizations. Michael Bloomberg is the godfather of gun control. He's the financier of the entire gun control movement. These people have never had a grassroots movement. It's always funded by left-wing activist billionaires. Michael Bloomberg's organizations are lining up behind Patty Kim to try to flip the Pennsylvania Senate. That is another big red X against Patty Kim's record. Red flag gun confiscation. Now we're getting into the votes. These are some of the votes that Patty Kim has cast in the last 2 years. She voted in favor of red flag gun confiscation. This is a terrible gun control bill that destroys due process in Pennsylvania. It lets people petition judges to have your guns taken away from you without you ever being charged, tried, or convicted of a crime. Oh, and at the hearings for these red flag orders, they can the accuser can present evidence that you recently acquired a firearm as justification for the judge to order that firearm taken away. Literally, Patty Kim here, the Democrat, voted so that if you exercise your Second Amendment freedoms, it's an excuse to take them away. Absolutely insane. That's what red flag gun confiscation is. Patty Kim supports it. She also supports and voted for statewide gun registration. To boil this one down, it simply gives the state the ability to track, trace, and register gun owners like they are sex offenders, and only the people that come in and register them will be able to be tracked like this. Guess who's not going to register their guns with the government if they pass this law? Violent criminals. This bill does nothing to stop violent criminals. It only punishes the law-abiding, and the whole purpose behind this bill to track, trace, and register gun owners like sex offenders is so they know who owns what guns. It's the foundation for gun confiscation. It's a terrible piece of legislation. And again, Patty Kim voted for it. She also voted to ban Sunday hunting. A lot of gun owners and hunters in Pennsylvania want that. She voted against it. She also voted to give the governor emergency power to shut down firearm sales during times of emergency. Folks, if we've learned anything over the last several years, in fact, just recently with the hurricane stalling out over top of Tennessee, we saw all those criminal illegals looting people's homes. That's exactly when you need a firearm. She voted to give the governor the power to suspend the Second Amendment during times of emergency. Unbelievable. Are we going to suspend free speech rights next? She voted no on some pro-gun bills, constitutional carry. She also voted no on hardening schools. What kind of a madman does that? Schools are where a society, a culture sends its most valuable possessions, for lack of a better term. Our kids. Why on God's green earth would you vote not to harden schools, especially when you look at all the school shootings that have happened here in America in the last 20 years? They're gun-free zones. Why would you not want some retired veterans there armed and ready to deal with that? What is the matter with you, Patty Kim? That does not make any sense, not even from the gun control perspective, which she's a huge supporter of. Patty Kim voted not to harden our schools? What it's like standing out in front of a school saying, hey, target this gun-free zone. There's kids here. There's easy targets here. What kind of lunacy is that? I don't understand it. But that's Patty Kim. That's how she voted. So that's the Democrat, Patty Kim. She's a current state representative. She's running to become the next state senator we're talking about Senate District 15 here. Let's talk about Nick DeFrancesco here for a second. Nick, now the sad part about this guy here is I can't really give you a lot of information. You go on his website, it's not listed. The Second Amendment is not listed on his issues. But one thing I can tell you, he's not endorsed by the gun control organizations. Patty Kim is. That tells you a lot right there. I've seen some general stuff on his website, on his social media channels about how he supports the Constitution. We do too. We think it's one of the best documents ever written in human history, next to the Bible, of course. But other than that, we don't know much about it. What we do know is if the Democrats take control of the Pennsylvania Senate, we will likely see a course of action similar in that chamber to what they did and plotted in the House of Representatives, which is where they passed some major gun control bills like red flag gun confiscation and statewide gun registration. The reason why those bills did not become law is because the Republican-controlled Pennsylvania Senate stopped those bills from passing. They did not pass out of the Senate. So Republicans have been the one thing stopping a lot of this whole agenda over here, the Patty Kim agenda. Let's just call it that. That's why I'm going to give Patty an F. Okay. She deserves every bit of it. Very alarming stuff. We're going to stick with the question mark over here for old Nick, who's trying to replace John DeSanto. We don't know much about him. We do know that the Republicans, when they control the Senate chamber, have been blocking the gun control, and that is a very good thing. So I want you guys to have this information to make your own decisions about who you want representing you. If you want gun control, Patty Kim's your person. If you want gun rights, chances are things are going to be better under Nick DeFrancesco. But if you see him on the campaign trail, ask him in person. Say, hey, Nick, what's going on? Where are you at in the Second Amendment? I need to know. That would be a great thing. And then report back to us if you do. If you see Patty Kim on the campaign trail, tell her that stuff goes in Britain today, okay? That kind of tyranny, it is better suited for 1940s Germany, Italy, Japan, stuff like that. We don't do tyrants over here in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is the birthplace of freedom, and that's why America is the envy of the world. So if she wants to do that kind of crap, move. Go join Rosie O'Donnell, head to some other country. We don't do that here certainly not in Dauphin County. So folks, please share this video. Now that you have all of this information, please share this video with everybody you know that's pro-gun, your friends, your family, your loved ones, your co-workers, your church family, everybody that you know that really appreciates the fact that the Second Amendment is the one freedom that protects all the rest of them. And then on November 5th, head down to those polls and vote pro-gun.